Construction for the solar park project at the airport officially begins. Plus, in today's lifestyle segment, we'll tell you why it is necessary to limit your intake of sweets, and we'll give you tips on how to do it. Also, a fun walk acknowledges and recognizes everyone who works with children. This is being organized on Saturday. 15 on 15 starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. The solar park project at the airport has started. This is a rather significant construction plan on the premise. Aruba Airport Authority has made some changes during time of construction. Take a look. AAA wants to inform all airport employees and parking lot badge as well card holders that as of this Thursday, they must go through the normal staff parking area through the entrance to the taxi staging area located at the west side of the actual parking lot. Parking areas for motorcycles, the handicapped, airport, and government authorities will use the existing parking lot entrance, meaning they will not be inconvened. These changes are expected to last through the duration of the project, which is estimated to be 6 months. The solar park project is scheduled to be completed by mid-2014. In other local news, car rental companies just got a bit more expensive as the Parliament recently passed a law requiring every car company to pay a fixed fee on each car they rent out on an annual basis. Rental cars are in demand on the island as Aruba receives a tremendous amount of tourists every year. Car companies who rent out these vehicles have another added tax every year. This week, the Parliament passed a law stating every car company must pay a fixed sum of 380 florins a year for every car they rent out to customers. The government says the sum of an estimated 1.3 to 1.5 million florins this tax will generate goes back into the social efforts for the Aruban community. Alcohol and drug abuse is a global issue. A recent case study was conducted to gather more statistics on the drug and alcohol use in Aruba. Here are some of the findings. A 1997 case study concluded with an educated guess that there were 10,000 people using drugs on the island. Fast forward to today's study, it has increased to 27,000 people, but this does not represent these are all problematic cases. Currently, an estimated 2,226 people require help for drug-related issues. Herbert Diaz was in charge of executing the drug statistical analysis. Within the case study, a survey was conducted at schools regarding alcohol.
55% admit having been using alcohol regularly, but 34.5% chooses not to give an answer, while they had the choice to say, no, I don't use it. That makes us conclude that the amount of youth that uses alcohol at the schools can run into 90%.
Secondary students responded similarly when asked about illegal drug use.
With illegal drugs, it's 21.1 that freely, openly, honestly admit that they are using the illegal drugs. But 59.9% chooses not to answer. That brings the 21.1% up to 81% of youth that may be using illegal drugs at school.
According to Mr. Diaz, the case study also took a look at how the students' initial reactions and first experience with alcohol or drugs were. This is important as it strongly determines whether a student would use again.
40% of the students at the secondary schools in Aruba report a positive reaction when using alcohol for the first time. And 23% says their reaction was positive with the use of marijuana. These are very important figures to take account with.
Don't go anywhere, because coming up right after the break in our lifestyle segment, let's talk about your sweet intake. How much is too much and how can you limit it? Also, dating a coworker is a definite no-no, but if you accidentally do fall into that path, we'll give you some tips on that. Last but certainly not least, there is one snack that you should munch on every day because it can prolong your life. Here's a sneak peek to see what that is. Welcome back from the break. Most of us have a sweet tooth, some more than others, but the reason why we are all attracted to sweets dates back millions of years ago. Think about it. Breast milk is sweet, fruits are sweet, and these things ensured our survival. Like everything else, too much of anything is never good, and this includes sweets. Take a look. Admit it, we all like sweets one way or another. And they are hard to say no to, but be careful because indulging in too much of it leads to obesity, which means health problems such as diabetes and heart disease could occur. Sweets have addictive qualities that lights up the same pleasure center of the brain that many addictive substances do. High-calorie sweets can comfort you, but you should try to limit your sweet intake. Here's how you can limit your sweet intake. This first one is an easy one for us being in Aruba. Get 30 minutes of sunlight a day because sunlight produces serotonin, known as that feel-good chemical in the brain that prevents cravings for sweets like ice cream. Also, do not consume more than 10% of your daily calorie intake, or you can just splurge once a week on treats. And be logical. When you are at the store, don't stock up on sweets. What is not in your cupboard cannot tempt you. And let's switch gears for a minute and talk about dating your coworker. Relationship experts say if you care about your career, you should steer clear of dating someone in your office because it can get messy really quick. But if you do accidentally find yourself on this path, here are some tips to follow. First, don't tell coworkers. Everyone loves a secret, but no one really knows how to keep it. In this situation, the less people that know about your inter-office romance, the better. The last thing you want is for your new romance to be office gossip. Also, get your partner to discuss logistics with you and have a game plan together. Tip number 2, this is an important one, do not date your superior. Dating the boss is never a good idea for many reasons. You never want to give another person control over you. This can also jeopardize advancements in your career, within your current group, and within the company as a whole because you are mixing business with pleasure. And moving over, people who regularly eat nuts appear to live longer according to the largest study of its kind. Here are some details.
Nuts of all sorts have been discovered to prolong life. Findings suggested the greatest benefits was in the people who munch on nuts on a daily basis. Nut eaters in the study were likely to also have healthy lifestyles, including being less likely to smoke or overweight and more likely to exercise, but the nuts themselves were also contributing to their long lifespans. People eating nuts once a week were 11% less likely to have died during the study than those who never ate nuts.
Now, of course, more research is needed to prove the link between nuts and a long life. We will be right back. Stay with us. The Children's Foundation on the island is organizing a fun walk for the first time. The idea is to celebrate the children, but more importantly, it is to recognize and acknowledge the adults in the community who guide, inspire, and care for the future generation. Caroline Martez and Natasha Hilkes are both educational counselors for the Children's Foundation. The organizers are hoping to host a different kind of fun walk with the objective magnified.
Our fun walk is called Walk a Mile for a Child. So we are focusing on this group who, as I said, daily and yearly work for the benefit of children. And when I speak of children, I mean kids from 0 to 18 years. So we wanna bring these people out because we know we all work in that field. I'm speaking about the social workers, people who work on the social field, in the medical field, in healthcare, those who serve justice, working with kids.
The organizers feel the caregivers of children on Aruba are often overlooked, reason being why they want to show their appreciation for the role models.
Our children is our future, so we have to set the foundation. And we realize that there are so many people who work at the benefit of the children, but not often do we stand still and look back at the work that these people do. And we all do it in different ways, but we have a general, goal, which is the education of every child on Aruba. So whether it's in the medical field, or whether you are a teacher, or whether you're a coach of a football team or softball team, we know that our goal is general, which is the general education of all children of Aruba.
Everyone involved with children in any which way is encouraged to join the 5K Fun Walk on Saturday at Fisherman's Hut.
Also directed at the public in general, because we believe that it takes a community to raise a child. And so we all must be aware that children are priceless beings, and a happy child will eventually be a happy community. So this is our reason for bringing all these people together. So we hope to see as much as possible people who work with kids daily to come out and have fun and meet each other and just be acknowledged by for the work that you do, the costless work that you do.
For those joining the walk, be sure to be on time to receive a special gift, and you can also be creative.
The first 500 people who register on the 23rd of November will get one of these water bottles with the logo of the Fun Walk on it. They're very nice, very cute. So be on time so you can be one of the lucky people who will get one of these water bottles. And I would also like to say that, we're inviting the entire public of Aruba to participate, and it will be a fun moment, a nice moment. So make your group, identify yourself. You can come in matching t-shirts, matching caps, or something different.
Walk a Mile for a Child takes place this Saturday at Fisherman's Hut. Inscription begins at 4 p.m., the walk itself at 5. The route begins at Fisherman's Hut, then it goes to Arashi Beach, then it ends at where it started. The cost is 5 florins per person. For any additional information, call 588-0856. That is our show for today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back here with a brand new edition of 15 on 15 on Friday night starting at 7:15 p.m. So we will see you then.